Welcome to the Government News Brief for Monday, April 11, 2016. In the news, councillors working with police to solve community crimes, Region 3 prepares for Jubilee celebrations, and a new system to facilitate use of renewable energy on the national grid for pilot in public buildings. The details of these and other stories when the news brief continues. Stay tuned. Thank you for staying with us. I am Azim Khan and this is the Government News Brief. Tackling crime and disorder is a priority in Alboystown and Charlestown, and the Guyana Police Force and the newly elected councillors of those constituencies are committed to confronting them together.
The priority of one of the newly elected councillors of Alboystown, Malcolm Ferreira, is to make the city ward along with Charlestown places that everyone can enjoy with clean, safe streets. Over the next 3 years, Ferreira plans to work with the police to make the two communities even safer and reduce crime.
I'm from James Street, Alboystown, across the road where used to be Hell's Kitchen. I grew up seeing blood washing the streets of Alboystown. It continued and it continues. How many more persons have to die before we realize that? It makes no sense, because honestly, we have to feel, and I extend condolences to the relatives, the well-wishers and the loved ones of the deceased. Do we have to wait until it comes close to home, it affects you personally, before we say, okay, we have to stop?
Youth violence and crime continue to be a major worry in the two communities. With two recent execution-style killings, the Guyana Police Force is seeking to strengthen its crime prevention efforts. The newly initiated relationship with the councillors is expected to further enable the force to build a capacity of trust and cooperation in the communities.
To have the police around doing the job in the way that they're supposed to do the job will benefit any community, okay? Because our security is paramount, and in these neighborhoods, Alboystown and Charlestown, we see it's flaring up and it's coming up, so you have to try to address it early. So I believe it's a good initiative where persons could feel more secure in their own neighborhood.
The police force, in dealing with crime in Alboystown and Charlestown, has initiated a number of programs such as the Impact Alboystown Project, the Police Youth Clubs, and the Cops and Faith Community Network. Community outreaches are also ongoing in two communities to continue building residents' trust. Shanta Goberdan with this Government News Brief.
As part of the government's implementation of the Sustainable Energy Program, a grid tie system will soon be piloted to allow for the use of renewable energy on the national grid. Here are the details.
7 public buildings have been earmarked for the installation of solar and grid tie systems. These are the Ministry of Public Infrastructure Whites Lane Office, the Ministry of Agriculture, Queen's College, Bishop's High School, St. Joseph's High School, the Government Technical Institute, and the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, according to Horace Williams, CEO of the Hinterland Electrification Company, Inc.
To put in grid tie systems, you require a legal framework, which is not yet in place. That's why we're doing it on public buildings and not private buildings. So we be able to understand how the system works and any kind of issues that we have to deal with. When we look at the framework to allow private sector to install such systems. Because at the moment, under a different program, the government is actually looking at developing a policy which would include options for grid tie systems.
Williams explains how the systems work.
The systems are different from the off-grid systems. The off-grid systems will require battery storage and battery backup. These systems would use the grid as a backup. So at nights, when there's no sunlight to provide energy, the energy would come from the grid. So these are slightly different from the regular systems that we would put into the hinterland. And under this program, we'll be, as I said before, testing the grid tie systems for possible replication in the future.
Upon finalizing the bid documents, bids will be invited for the supply and installation of the systems. International bidders will also be catered for. A grid tie inverter is a power inverter that converts direct current DC into alternating current AC with an ability to interface with a utility line. Its applications are converting DC sources such as solar panels or small wind turbines into AC for tying with the national grid. The Sustainable Energy Program is an IDB-funded project for supporting the use of renewable energy sources to meet Guyana's electricity demands. For this government news brief, Namila Baines-Rowe.
Region 3 has begun cleaning up of various areas and facilities as it prepares to join the 50th Independence Anniversary celebrations. Details in this report.
The Region 3 administration has commenced cleaning the community recreational grounds at Maria Johanna, Sans Souci, Wakenham, and others in Leguan.
On the 21st of May, a number of events will be held in this region. In Leguan, we are going to have 3 fun days at different venues. One would be at Richmond Hill, one at Success, and one at Claremont. And all these activities are going to be the launch of programs, grounds, and other events in Region 3, more particularly the island of Leguan.
The celebrations will be taken to the island of Wakenham the next day.
On the 22nd of May, we move to the island of Wakenham to continue the celebration. And we are going to have 2 major activities there. We are going to have the opening of a play park and the commissioning of a Unity Square. The opening of the play park would be at Maria Johanna, and the commissioning of the Unity Square would be at Sans Souci.
Other activities planned for the commemoration of the celebrations in Region 3 include an interfaith service acknowledging the different religions in Guyana, a cultural diversity day, a Jubilee Health Fair, and the customary flag raising ceremony. Parks and other recreational facilities around the country have been neglected for many years due to lack of funds. Government has been supporting the regions and communities in the restoration of all playgrounds and parks. This is part of the effort to create a green economy and to promote social cohesion. Renetta Lafleur, Government News Brief.
Region 8 youths who are undergoing training under the Hinterland Education Youth Services Program have begun putting their skills into practice to the benefit of their communities. Here is how in this report.
Minister within the Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, Valerie Garrido-Lowe, provided the Government Information Agency with this update.
The community extended their guest house, so the patio does not have any furniture. So the group, the joinery students, will be cutting, sewing, and making the furniture for that patio. Other than that, the village office, the Tushaw said the village office needs shelves and so on, so they will go on to put shelves there. Other than that, they have like senior citizens who need tables, chair, somebody door fall off. All these things will be there practical that they will take part in.
It is also anticipated that the youths will undertake the local contracts in the region for the provision of desks, cupboards, and other furniture for schools and dormitory facilities.
Other than that, the rest are doing very well. You have the garment construction class, they're producing. And for May 26th, they plan to have an exhibition or a sale of these clothing. And that's to commemorate the Jubilee, Guyana's Jubilee.
51 of the region's youths are currently being trained from 3 communities: Mountain Foot, Bamboo Creek, and Monkey Mountain. Areas of training include garment construction, agriculture, carpentry, masonry, and joinery. The duration is 1 year, with 6 months each for theory and practical. The HAZE program was officially launched in Region 8 in October 2015. The overall target of the program is 2,000 youths from 100 indigenous communities countrywide. Shanti Goberdan with this Government News Brief.
We hear now in this report that the Guyana National Bureau of Standards will play a greater role in Guy Expo 2016.
The GNBS will utilize Guy Expo 2016 as a training ground for the standardization of businesses through interaction on a one-on-one basis with exhibitors. This process is expected to help identify the needs of businesses to establish quality standards.
This year we want to make that presence a little more business oriented. Okay. So far they've managed to do a good job at being more of a consumer watchdog type of organization, which is not their primary role.
GNBS booths will focus on metrology, which is a system of weights and measures. It is used to ensure measuring scales deliver accurate results.
Their primary role is to support business development by creating and implementing standards, creating standards for businesses to implement to improve the quality of their products and services
that they offer to people,
and therefore become more competitive. That is the primary role of the Bureau of Standards, and we want them to exhibit and demonstrate that role at this year's Guy Expo.
Guy Expo will be held from May 12 to 15. Hundreds of businesses will have the opportunity to showcase their products and services and in the process develop business linkages. For this Government News Brief, Shivani Rampersad reporting.
The Office of the Integrity Commission invites members of the public to submit comments on the draft Code of Conduct for all ministers of government, members of the National Assembly, and public office holders. Submissions must be made between April 12 and 25, 2016 to the Office of the Integrity Commission at the Office of the Integrity Commission, 94 Carmichael Street North, Cummingsburg, Georgetown. Additional details can be had from the daily newspapers. This has been another edition of the Government News Brief. You can find the details of these and other stories on GINA's website. We encourage you to subscribe to our website and YouTube channel. You can also like us on Facebook so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. Thank you for watching.